The Leading Force is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far.
Joined the police force in the 70s, and she's made waves and enemies.
When she qualified in the police service, all hell broke loose.
Towed away Indira Gandhi's car. That was a bit cheeky, wasn't it?
All these brave young men noticed there was a braver girl. And this is dangerous.
She is Kiran Bedi.
When I changed the face of the prison, they were jealous. When I exposed corruption in the police, I embarrassed them.
There is an unholy nexus between police, politicians, and criminals.
These are powerful people, and there's a high price for going against them. I had to learn not to trust most of my seniors, and certainly never my peers.
You know, most of your seniors colleagues would like to see you buried 200 feet below.
My enemies would love to see me fail, and instead, I emerged with international acclaim. Work has been my priority, and my family just got as much as I thought they needed. This is getting little too much. It always gets too much for you.
And what were you doing chasing a mob single-handedly in the middle of Delhi?
Very scary. It's very difficult to live with her.
Why? What have I done?
I don't know. What haven't you done?
She's very strong, very courageous, very naive. She does have a temper. She's everything. It's all Kiran Bedi.
India's first woman IPS officer, former advisor to United Nations and winner of most coveted Magsaysay Award, and today, the crusader against the corruption in India. With us we have today Kiran Bedi. Welcome to the show, Kiran.
Thank you, Sunil.
This show is called The Leading Force, and in this show we feature the most prominent, accomplished individuals who have done extraordinary success in their field and have made continued contribution to our society. And you are certainly one of them.
Thank you, thank you. That's your personal assessment.
Well, your modesty speaks for you always, but let's start from your childhood. But before that, I just want to know, some people call you Madam, some people call you a reformer, some people call you a crusader, some people even call you a sister or an iron lady. Who is Kiran Bedi?
I think a particular soul. I think in the end, we are a soul. Which has a body, but I do not know where this soul came from or where it will go, but it may have a reason. I don't think many things we do are self-designed. These are just happening, and I think I'm a witness to the soul. I'm myself exploring who I am, where am I to go. I think I'm still learning. I think what you can do is a soul in a body which is exploring who am I.
I guess exploding is a better word for you. But let's touch your childhood. You know, those memories when they come to you. You were a little kid, probably a good student, and those memories obviously haunt you. Tell us about your childhood. What kind of student were you? How well you scored in your grades? What were your hobbies at that time?
I was a very good student. I was a very conscientious student. I don't think even one single day my school or my parents told me, do your homework properly. I was very self-driven as a child. I think I was born with being self-driven. I didn't know what is being self-driven till you read later. I was very conscientious, doing things on my own, hardworking, very disciplined. I was born with these qualities. But then the environment nurtured it, reinforced it, because I had such caring parents. I wish every child in this world gets the kind of parents I had. So I'm a product of their love, their vision, their foresight. But I was also born with this. So I was gifted already with these qualities. And over a period, I realized I was gifted twice. Parents and the gifts I was born with.
Now, when you talk about your parents, everybody is blessed with parents. But in your case, I think parents were beyond what they call parents. They were your role models. They were your mentors. Just expand on it. What is the role they played?
Sunil, you've been in India and you have worked and studied in India. We all love our parents, and
Sure.
parents love their children.
Sure.
No parent is more or less than the other. But all I can tell you about my parents is that they were ahead of their time. They were far ahead of their time. I think they were at least 40, 50 years ahead of the time in bringing up daughters.
Impressive.
And we were 4, not 1.
Sisters.
We were 4 sisters. And at that time, every girl was grown up, brought up to be married with a huge dowry.
Yeah.
And we were being brought up to be what we want to be.
Between father and mother, who was more to say that?
Both. That's why I was reinforced 200%.
Wow. Even mother said,
200%. If father loved 100% sports, tennis, and education and intellect, mother loved education 100%. So we were being reinforced education and being ourselves, confident selves, 200%. That's what I'm talking about. I think that was being gifted.
and who put in your mind, now we're talking of 1972, almost 40 years ago, a girl from Chandigarh decides to become an IPS officer. Unbelievable, one of the most traditional societies, Punjab, and you chose to be an IPS officer. Who gave you this thought?
My sports. My father was a regular tennis player I was born with. Daddy used to play tennis every day. I belonged to a very wealthy land-owning family in Amritsar. So club membership was like elitist. My father went to the tennis club every afternoon. Mummy used to be at the club in the afternoon. Where do we go from school? We went to the tennis court. So from the best school of the city, in Sacred Heart School, Amritsar, we would be driven to the tennis court. Mummy would come from home with a tennis kit and fruits and milk. Wow. We would change at the tennis court, wait for our turn. Between the turns, we'd do our homework, play when we get our turn, and then the family would return home after playing tennis. It was such a rare family of those days ever. I think the only family in India which would do with this, make girls tennis champions.
Absolutely, at least
so
40 years ago.
Best of studies, best of the school, best of the studies. This was a part of the family.
And who did you tell first between your mom and dad that you want to be an IPS officer?
This, Sunil, it was the grooming.
Oh.
I think the world was so open for me that I could make my choices.
Jesus,
but government service to me was very important at that time. You see, in those days, again, my orientation was not to be a woman in business, but or woman in education or woman in healthcare. I think those days becoming doctors and even engineers was more limited to boys. But the manner in which we were groomed, and I was groomed, one of the 4, we were all groomed equally, is the world was totally open for me. But what didn't matter to me was not business. But what mattered to me was government. And for me, government didn't stand for power. It stood for making the difference in others' lives, service. For me, government meant serving the people. And for me, putting on in uniform was the maximum service one could do. Instantly, I could be, if I'm a good policeman, then I'm a security for everybody. So it stood for being a sports girl, being an NCC cadet, being an all-rounder, being a scholarship holder in academics, national and Asian tennis champion, it all went towards serving the people.
And how was it first few days when you all of a sudden in a police academy show up? the first woman officer. How was it in amongst so many men, new police candidates?
Total curiosity. It was total curiosity and a question mark. Curiosity and a question mark. What will this woman, how will this woman deliver? Will she be able to fight criminals? Will crime increase because of her or crime decrease? It was a big question mark. But pleasant question mark, pleasant curiosity, but a welcome curiosity.
Oh, that's true.
It was respectful curiosity. People loved it. People loved to see a woman in uniform. But again a question mark. Ki yes, will she succeed? But a welcome question mark. So I saw conflict in their mind. While they're welcoming, they're also apprehensive. So I saw it in my rank and file. I saw it in amongst the people. But it was just amazing. But it was very caring. It was respectful.
From beginning.
From the beginning, it was respectful. It was very affectionate.
And when did it really, as they say in your case, change from yes, madam and sir?
Very soon. Didn't take long. Destiny changed it. I was put into a riot where I got an opportunity to prove my courage or express my courage. I didn't have to prove. Express my courage.
This is New Delhi you're talking about.
In New Delhi.
Yeah.
Within months. 1974, I joined the Delhi police as a trainee. I was under training.
Jesus.
I was posted only in 75. 74, I was put into a riot situation where houses were on fire in Delhi. There was a communal riot in Azad Market of riots. And I was thrown into those riots. And I didn't have to prove courage. I just expressed courage because that is who I was. So from that girl, I became, it became that, this, you no more that girl. She's somebody. And I think very soon it turned out to be amazing change. So that affection turned into awe and respect.
This is wonderful. We'll be continuing with you after a short break. Stay right there with us. We have the most decorated India's police officer ever in its history, Kiran Bedi. We'll be right back.
The Leading Force is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far.